Welcome back to this second episode of my story. This is going to be a series of interviews that I'm going to be doing with different athletes, detailing their journey in sports. The last episode we had Mokisa Glory Bumba, the captain of Makerere Chase, and she told us the different stories that where she has been able to represent the country and Makerere University, her journey in Belgium, Kenya, and etc. On this second episode, we are with Davis Shimwa, the captain of Makerere Rugby. Davis, welcome to this episode. Could you please introduce yourself to the people, those who don't know you?
Thank you, Avitas, for having me. My name is Shimwa Davis. I am a student at Makerere University. I'm also a rugby player. I play for the university. At the club level, I play for Rhinos Rugby Club, that is based here in Kampala. Yeah, I think there's nothing much to my name yet, so the questions will come, the more answers will come as the questions come along.
Oh yes, you said there's not much to your name yet, but there's one achievement you have been able to reach. The other weekend, you were able to get your debut for the Rugby Sevens, and you guys are playing in Zimbabwe, and you managed to get yourself a medal. Uganda finished in third. We shall be going into the details of that, but then we're just going to be starting a little bit in the background. Where did your rugby journey start from? Because this is why we are here today. Tell us, where did your journey start from? I know you are from Ntare School back then in 13, 14, around there. That's when we first encountered. It's now about 9-10 years. But then those people who don't know you, who want to know more about you, tell them how did you get to know rugby, and how did you start playing this game?
I started playing rugby in my senior one. It was a way to fend off bullies, to look scary, to have some people back me up while I was in high school, because I was a very skinny boy, short. I just grew tall later on. But I started at Ntare School. I played, I was mentored by a player who was called Bromo. That was his nickname.
Yes.
I think you know him, Richard.
Yeah, I know him, Richard.
Yeah, so I started playing as a fly half. I managed to join the school team in my senior two. I traveled for the games, but I didn't play. I was actually screened out because I looked unable to survive on the pitch because of my size and my physique. Same in my senior 3, same in my senior 4. I made the teams, but I didn't play any game at the national level. Then I left Ntare School. I joined St. Mary's College Chisubi for my senior 5, popularly known as SMAC.
Yeah.
I played for SMAC. I joined the school team. I played for them at the national level. Managed to qualify for the East African Games. I played at the East African Games. At both tournaments, I was able to score. I got the attention of my coach, Nkamba Alvin, who was taking on the team from Sekate Paul at the time, who had just joined the military. So Nkamba Alvin Aaron gave me a few tips on how best I can improve my game, basing on my game skills at the time, my desired position, my size, because now I had gained weight, I had gained size.
Yeah.
It was it changed my game. I became a bit more physical, so playing fly half was not ideal for me anymore. And that's how I managed to move to center, which is the position I play right now. As soon as I finished my senior 6, I didn't play rugby in senior 6 because I changed school. I was playing basketball for St. Joseph's Naggalama. When I finished senior 6, that's when COVID hit, 2020. I finished in 2019. So early 2020, COVID hit.
In March, yes.
And I had been previously playing basketball, so I kept playing basketball. I played with the Blazers.
Oh, yeah. That's really interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I was a Blazers player. And then when the fields opened again, when everything opened back to normal, a certain player, Joseph Anyi, called me back to rugby. I thought it was very far-fetched, but I was at campus, I had so much time on my hands, so I said, why not give it a go? Maybe I'll find a way to balance rugby and basketball.
Yeah.
Because now both teams were in the league, and it would be a bit hectic to train with rugby on Tuesday, Thursday, then basketball Monday, Wednesday, then Friday night you have a basketball game, and Saturday you have a rugby game.
Yeah.
So I eventually gave up one, which was basketball. When I weighed my options, where I was fitting, where I was more talented. Okay, I don't say where I was more talented because up to today I still believe I was more talented in basketball.
Yeah.
But I weighed so many options based on where the different teams, basketball and rugby, are right now at the country level. So I chose rugby eventually. I specialized in rugby. I kept playing with Rhinos, so I still play currently. I played one season. My first season was a bit tough, playing with big, experienced boys. First time, fresh from high school, and I was thrown right in the fire. My coach thought I was ready. He threw me straight into the fire, Coach Marshall. It was a tough season, but I had pros and cons. I had things that I picked up, things that I had to drop if I was going to be able to improve on my game. My second season was my best season so far, if you ask me. I got a national team 15s call-up after that season. Unfortunately, a few weeks into the camp, I was dropped. And 2 weeks later, I was taken into the Sevens Academy.
Yes, so before we actually go to that route, we know that in Uganda right now, those who don't know, when you're in the 15s team, those who play 15s play 15s, and those who play 7s play 7s. So the two teams can't mix. Once you are in the 7s setup, you can go in the 15s and, vice versa. But I'm just going to try to take you back a little bit. You were playing at Ntare School. You never made the team. And a fun fact.
I made the team. I just didn't play.
Yes, I'm trying to say, like, you were playing, but, you didn't get a chance to play. Fun fact, while I was in Ntare School myself, at the same time you were in there, I left in 2015. But I came back and I remember seeing you training. And I was surprised. I was like, this guy is still playing, you can't remember. But, I used to come for... I used to leave Mango, then I, come to Ntare School to see my boys once in a while. And I saw, you're still playing and etc. But you were small, and lanky, very tall, like, he's still playing, So, yeah, I really thought, you would probably, with the resilience that you had put in, and given the fact that I'd come back and I saw that you're still playing, or like maybe he has a future, because my journey a little bit differs from yours. I played a bit. I never made the team, but I was, let me use a word, I was lazy. So, you run 10 times, I run 2 or 3, do push-ups. I don't do push-ups, and it was one of the criteria the coaches used to see, to be like, okay, this guy can, handle, this guy can't handle. But, going through all that training and etc., it kind of builds you up and shows the people that this guy is ready, or maybe he wants to do this thing, and it somehow puts you in the spotlight. Even if you don't play, it's in a way tells people that this guy knows what he wants. So, taking you back to COVID, you're playing for the Blazers there. You guys were in Division 1. I remember you in Division 1.
Yes.
How was it like? Let us have to leave rugby for a moment. How was it like playing basketball during that time?
When I was playing basketball, it was much easier because I never used to play basketball actively at school until my senior 6. But every time I was in the holidays, I was playing basketball. Every single holiday, I was training with the Blazers team because it's a home team. They train what I'd like to call in our backyard.
Okay.
It's a very walkable distance. Every time I just go shoot hoops. I grew up playing the sport from, I think, P7. That's when I became familiar with basketball. So it was not really that tough because I was playing with the big boys right from the beginning.
Okay.
When I managed to put on some size and height, it was just now about understanding how they play.
Yeah.
But to take them on wasn't as much fire as it was when I joined the rugby league. It wasn't easy either because I played one season. It was also tough before I quit. It was also a tough one. I played a few games. I didn't play so many games. But what I would like, if you ask me to give a remark on it, it was a fun experience. it's something that I'll definitely go back to when I'm done with rugby, because I feel like I'm a natural, and if I put in the work, like I've always done, being unable to play was maybe because, I looked lanky, like you said, but every time that we're asked to put in the work, every time we're asked to run, every time we're asked to do push-ups, even though I wouldn't make the full push-ups, I would make perfect, if they said 10, I would make perfect 4. And then I give up.
Yeah. And just to cut you short there, you said you were playing basketball, since P7, around that time, and you came to Ntare School, and particularly you weren't a basketball player, if I remember very well, because I used to be with the boys also, basketball and rugby. And why didn't you maybe give it a go at Ntare School?
Like I said, I started playing rugby to fend off bullies.
Yeah.
So that was the initial reason as to why I first played on rugby pitch. And then I guess I just fell in love with the sport.
Oh, you never wanted to be cool? Basketball used to be cool.
No, okay, like I was in a single boys school, so being cool was not a big deal. Being cool is when you're probably in a mixed setting or something like that. Yeah, to get that kind of fame in the school, that, oh, this guy is captain basketball team, this guy is... But being in a single boys setting, I felt like it was more about what you want to achieve personally. There's no one to impress, so you just do what you're doing and wait for the fruits. Yes.
Now, speaking of life in general, I was also among the guys who left Ntare School, a single, sex school. I went to a mixed school from A level, and you also happened to go through a civics experience. How different was it adjusting? You left a school where you're playing rugby dominantly, you're going to a school where it's not a big deal, How different was it in terms of the rugby sport and socially in general?
It was fun, but tough, because I was in a single school setting for 5 years. When I joined Naggalama in senior 6, it was confusing because when I joined, like you said, there was no rugby. That's what I was accustomed to. And now we have to sit with a girl in class, and us we only see girls on the holidays. So it was a bit confusing, mixed emotions.
The things,
No, you see, when I was in Ntare, I never used to go for the Ntare. And I mean, I went for a couple of functions in my senior 4, but because I was a candidate, I was just living the candidate life. But it wasn't really about making connections with them like that. I was always a freelancer, just doing my thing. I don't even know if I looked confused while doing it, but I was just doing my thing. So when I joined senior 6, it was a bit confusing. It was, but I remember vividly, there was no rugby. The headmaster's son, who was in my year at the time, was a former rugby player at SMAC. So we connived and illegally got a rugby ball into the school, and we introduced the sport. Not like introducing, because it was there, but it was banned. Because of the injuries and all that. But we brought a ball, we taught the senior 5s how to play. So we'd have senior 5 or senior 6 games. And even people who didn't know about the sport got to know the sport. I have, I think, 2 players in my club who joined, and they were in Naggalama for 6 years. So they joined the club fresh, not completely fresh, because now they had the knowledge from what we taught them, but they were fresh minds, they were fresh bodies, they needed to be conditioned. But I guess when you stumble upon something that you love, like I said, you're just willing to pursue it and see how far it's going to take you. So it was a bit tough, but we pushed through. We brought a ball, we played games. I remember I was a ref most times because I understood the game more.
Have you done level 1 yet?
No, I haven't actually. It's something on my bucket list for probably next year. But I refed a couple of games because I had some knowledge about the game. I pushed for them to watch the Rugby World Cup, because 2019, that's when the Rugby World Cup was being played.
I was in Lumumba at that time. I was in Lumumba.
Exactly. So we pushed for the Rugby World Cup to be aired, to be shown to the students, and it was. So it was an interesting experience. It was a very interesting experience. On the side of mixing with the girls, it was tricky, I won't lie, because when you're a sportsman and in high school, it's inevitable that some people are going to throw themselves at you.
And by then you know basketball.
And now I did exactly.
You're cool.
Now I was a basketball captain, and now I'm introducing rugby. So it was a lot. It was actually a lot when I remember. But self-control was key. Composure was key.
Sure.
I won't lie that I didn't have someone special in the school at that time, but that's a story for another day.
Okay.
So
hope that day will come soon.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep composed and keep in mind what you want personally as a human being. I mean, everyone expects something from you, but at the end of the day, you'll be buried alone.
Yes.
So it's up to you to choose what you want and go for it.
Yes. So you've told us how you socialize, how you change from a single school setting to a mixed school setting. Now I'm just going to take you back a little bit to your second rugby season in Rhinos.
Yeah.
That same time, if I remember correct, that's the time we had Kings of Africa. Season 1, exactly, 2021.
Yeah.
That's your second season, in rugby. Most people around that time didn't really know you in that setting. They didn't really know who Shimwa was or anything like that.
Yeah.
They just seen some guy who was very tall, playing the game and etc. here, training, and as I said, we put in the work and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
2021 was like your revelation year. That's when most people got to know you. And you said you got the attention of the national team coach there. Your second season, tell us, what changed for you, mentally. You like to use that word, mental. Mentally, what changed for you, and how do you think you improved your game and took it to the next level?
Yeah, like I said, when I finished, when COVID hit, on the second, because we had 2 lockdowns. After the second lockdown is when Anyi came to me and told me, man, you should try rugby. Anyi was playing for Rhinos. Yeah. He was recruiting most of the young boys that are there right now at the time. So Anyi came to me and told me, I remember I was staying in Lumumba. We were doing exams that we had missed the previous semester because of COVID. It was around early September. Anyi came up to me, then Captain Blaze, current captain of the national team, of the Makerere team.
Yeah,
Ocheng Blaze came to me and told me there were some games that the university was going to play, and they heard that I was a rugby player. They didn't know, they were not sure, because every time I was on campus, I was hooping, I was playing basketball.
Yes.
So I said, I'm a rugby player. There was a camp going on in Lumumba at the time, so I joined the camp. I remember team manager Fagayo was very skeptical about adding me to the list because I was a basketball player, and I won't even deny, I would not be convinced by myself if I had to tell someone that I was a rugby player at the time. So a few days down the road, we start training with Coach Shaka Katuntu of Impis and also Makerere team. I don't know what he saw in me, but he just told me that he needs me to sharpen up and get my head where it needs to be, because I'm a very good player, I'm a very talented player. I feel like his words and the words of Captain Sempeke at the time pushed me to, see how far this could go. So when I had to go to the gym, I was in the gym. I was always in the gym with Kwebiha Gabriel and Nazo Kevin. Sleepless days, sleepless nights. I don't remember actively attending lectures that time because I was trying to get my body in shape. I was trying to gain some weight. I started the camp when I was, I think, 88 kgs. By the time we played Kings of Africa, I was 97.
That's 9 kilograms.
Yeah, 9 kilograms,
in a short span. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was like in a month. I remember in like a month's time. That's when I put on the plate. Yeah. So it was mostly the teammates pushing me. Gabi pushing me in the gym, Josiah pushing me on the pitch, telling me to concentrate, telling me to focus. I remember I was his center. He was playing fly half at the time. I was his center and I was expected to execute, because in Rugby Sevens, if your center is dead, then it's impossible for you to play rugby. It's very impossible for you to play rugby if your center is dead in sevens. He needs to be creative. He needs to be the best center I've seen. The best 2 centers that I've seen currently in Uganda are Timothy Kisiga and Philip Okorachi.
Timothy Kisiga is a
very impressive player. So
out of this world.
Exactly. So it was about stepping up to their level of play and controlling the game, letting everyone know that it's calm, that you have everything under control, but not forgetting to play as a team. So I feel like us pushing each other is what got me to get to that tournament, because I won't even lie, during the training sessions, during the trial games, I felt like giving up, because sometimes it felt like it wasn't worth it. But the constant pushing and then actually reaching to the tournament and playing the boys from Stellenbosch, the boys from UJ, that was eye-opening, because I was running into players who I thought were machines and they were falling down. People who came, people who have been through intense training, if you can create a gap with them, what can you do back home here? So after playing that tournament, I didn't look back. I put up an impressive performance. We played some of the toughest schools. I remember we played Jomo Kenyatta, we played University of Nairobi, United States University.
USIU.
USIU. We played UJ, we played Stellenbosch. None of the games were easy. I remember we got a win against Moobs. That's the team that we beat. and every other team, even the ones that we lost by 1, we lost.
I remember, but that 2021, actually, for me to actually say I made a comeback in rugby myself was around that time, because I joined MOOC in 2018, August, but Impis is very close, but I never really watched Impis play. 2019 also came by, I didn't really watch much. I watched a couple of games, but after the lockdown, I realized, this was my thing. So 2021, I think I remember I watched most of the games of Impis and Rams, which used to be at home here, and that circuit was that tournament there was pretty impressive, because I saw. I've been telling guys that Uganda teams didn't really play to the level, but then we also remember how it was. I don't want to say it was kind of rushed in a way, but they kind of just put up a team, and like you have said, they just brought you and put you in the team at some point.
It was a bit inconvenient, because remember we were in COVID.
So they just put together. They got players here and there. Some guys went fit, some guys had stopped. Some feel like there was no point of playing this, but after that circuit, I realized, actually, university sport is something, because I remember we had about 4,000 plus people attend those games. That whole place was really full. When I look back and I see, I'll be like, this is something, and that's one of the reasons why I also came back to rugby, and now I'm serving it, in my different capacities. But then now, tell us, at that time you joined MOOC and you played. How did you become captain? Because I know you are the captain of something. Is it 15s or 17? I don't know. You are captain of MOOC.
I've captained the team as a 15s team.
Yes.
I have never... Okay, I've captained the team as a 15s team. I've captained the team as a 7s team.
Yeah.
Both, the 7s tournament was a local one.
Yes.
The 15s game that we played was against USIU.
Yeah, USIU. Yeah. 2 games, yes.
So the way I got named captain, that's a tough one. Because we never had a ceremony or something.
Yeah.
The captain, the outgoing captain was Josiah Sempeke. In the year 2022, I do not remember playing for Makerere any tournament, because
there was nothing much. Really
there was actually nothing at the time. Yeah. That was the time when Sempeke handed down. He stepped down from power. So the first time I got named as captain, I was injured, and the boys were going for East African Games.
In Deje?
Yeah, in Deje.
Yes.
I had just come out of the 7s setup. The 7s, I think maybe I was named captain because I was called to the national team. So I had just come out of the 7s setup. I had just finished a very tough 7th season with my club. We had been relegated from 7s. We had to qualify back. Yeah, I remember that. So as soon as we qualified, we were training for Uganda Cup, and I picked up an injury. I ruptured my ACL on my left knee. So I was out, but rugby is in my blood. Rugby it's like rehabilitation for me. Every time I have a problem, I just get my ball and I spin it, or I go and run on the pitch, and by the time I'm done, it's off my mind, or I have a solution for it. So I I used to go down to train the boys. I would limp down I was staying in a university hall at the time. I would limp down to Impis early in the morning. Even if there were 3 boys, I would train them even when I had no legs. Literally, I would go and tell them what to do, give them the simple things that I learned from the national team.
Yes.
So they managed to go for EA. I didn't travel with them, unfortunately. I had some commitments that I had to take care of. They scooped bronze, and it was a team that we put together just like the FASO team. Just this time we had much less time to prepare, because for FASO I remember we prepared for like a month. A month or a month and a half. This was just about 2 weeks. So we put together a team, mostly young boys who had just joined the university. We scooped bronze at the East African Games. And I guess after that tournament, the next tournament that we played was the 15th game against USIU.
USIU, was that before the BTE? I'm forgetting.
Against USIU, no, it was before the BTE.
Before you, okay, yes,
So as we're playing USIU, as we're training for USIU, guys were just referring to me as captain. Like every time there was a decision, I won't like me personally. I don't even want you to get it wrong, but me personally, I feel like being captain is so much work. I do not like the role, but it's something. I'm a natural leader, I guess, because at the club level it was more organized, and everyone said, no, this boy is going to lead us.
Okay.
Even much older players. So I was just, boys would just refer to me as captain. Hey, Captain Shimwa, so is there training today? Captain Shimwa, is this and that and that. So I think people just picked it up like, you know what, yeah, this guy is worthy to be captain. He's captain of this club, so why not?
Okay, we now know your story. In like a minute or two, tell us, how did you become captain of Rhinos? Because you also are a co-captain with Alan Olango, and both of you, are all in the sevens setup.
Yeah, at Rhinos I'm a co-captain.
Yeah, you're co-captain.
I captain only when Olango is not around. He's been suffering from some injury problems, but he'll be back stronger. I was named co-captain when I joined the sevens setup. When I joined the sevens setup, I got positive feedback back at the club. My coaches in the national team let my club coaches know how good I am, how I'm responding to training, because I joined the setup with a couple of boys, but the rest of them were chopped. So at the club, my coaches were impressed. They were also seeing the work I was putting in. I was running faster, I was bigger, I was stronger, I was now scoring more tries, because I'm more of a try creator than a try scorer. So I guess they felt it fit to call me captain, because most of the boys in my team are about my age.
True.
And to discuss, to be able to understand someone, you need to. The reason why we have prefects in school and not just administrators is because prefects are the age mates of the rest of the students.
True.
They understand the students' problems better. They're able to give advice and get something to take to the higher offices. So I feel like the way I understand the players, I'm friendly, I'm a very open person. Most of them come to me whenever they have an issue, however small it is, whether it's speech related, whether it's personal. I give them the advice that I feel would help them to be better men, to be better rugby players, because you won't be a rugby player for so long. You'll be a rugby player for probably 10 years, and then you have to be a man in the world. So you have to prepare yourself mentally for that while you're playing this sport. And if you don't learn specific values while playing, then you're headed for doom.
Okay. That's man spitting fire. Anyway, so we are now going to go into this last part. You went and made your debut in Zimbabwe about 10 days ago, if I can't remember very well. You won bronze, and then
bronze.
A tough bronze, and you captured Uganda's dream alive of qualifying for the Olympics. So you're going to just briefly tell us, this time around, how was the training like, and what do you think changed the coach's mind in order to be able to give you a debut? Because, I understand, those of you who don't know, Shimwa was in the setup, I think, since 2022, I remember, 2022 around there, 2021.
Yeah, it's called
they called you 2022.
Around June.
Yeah, that time you didn't partake, but then this time around, you were able to make the team. What do you think you added on, and what do you think made the coach give you this chance and opportunity?
From the first time I was in the setup, the team has really changed due to different reasons. Stars like Cloud Otema are out on injury. Desire Ariera, Michael Okorach is now a rugby legend. He's not retired. He's still going.
Yeah, he's still going.
And some players left the setup because of personal commitments, work, and all that. Kisiga. Yeah, so I feel like it. I got that eye-opening because I had been in the setup, and when they called the new people for this year's arrangement, there were new faces, but I felt like I had been in the setup before, so it's now up to me. I mean, the old is gone, the new has come. This is your chance to step up. So I had just finished playing the 15th season, the now special 15s, when I got this year's call up. And I decided to put in the work. I decided to work twice as hard. I was going to the gym more. I was running more. I asked my coaches for different tips on how I would perfect my technicality as a player that they need me to be. I'm a prop in the sevens team, so what does a prop need to do? How does he need to do it? I mean, I'm probably supposed to emulate Captain Ian Munyani.
Yeah,
so I'm basically supposed to perform to his level, and Ian Munyani is not captain for nothing.
Yeah, he's been in the system for very many years also.
Exactly, but
and he's still young.
He's young, but he's a remarkable player. He's I think he scored against South Africa in the game that we played against South Africa. So he's remarkable, and if I'm supposed to step up to that level, then there's no time to joke about it. So every time I felt confused, every time I felt left behind, I didn't let it last. I went to the coaches. I asked them, both at my club and the national team level. Coaches like Jimmy Musitwa of Rhinos gave me a lot of insight on how best I can join the setup again, because I've been out for some time, and get onto the team. And I knew that if I implemented this advice, then there was no way I was going to miss out on the squad, because Coach Tolbert picks form, he picks the best team, he picks people that he knows are going to represent the country.
Yeah. When I was interviewing him, he talked about that, picking based on form.
Yeah, on current form. Yeah. So I put in the work. That's all I can say. I put in the work, and I prayed, kept it in my God, and he did not let me down. I managed to make the team, traveled to Zimbabwe. It was a lot of pressure.
Before we go to Zimbabwe, you talked about the prayer bit of it. We saw there's a tweet and a post that you had put, back then it was still called Twitter, where you were kind of manifesting playing for the national team. When you saw this happening, how excited were you in that moment? What did that mean for you, manifesting something and it coming to life less than a year in between?
When I was manifesting, I was putting up that tweet. It was actually my biggest goal to put on the black, yellow, red this year. It's mainly because I had been in the setup, like you know, but I was later dropped. When they called the group that went to Dubai and Cape Town last year, where Bagal and Taufik debuted, where Jacob Ochen debuted. I wasn't part of that setup.
There were so many Ginger.
Exactly.
After them winning.
Exactly, after winning the national sevens, of course.
They had
it's merit.
A couple of stars,
So I didn't make that cut of people that were called up to train with the national team. And it hurt me. It hurt me because I felt like, despite the fact that Rhinos had just been relegated, we climbed up. We weren't able to portray everything that we can do because of the limited circuits that we had, but we were able to. I feel like my boys and I were able to play some good rugby. And when I was left out, it was fuel. It was fuel. It made me realize that you can think you're doing the most, but there are people doing more. There are people doing much more, and if you don't step up to their level, you're going to keep being left out. So it was a manifestation that I made at the beginning of the year, because I knew what it would take, and I knew I was ready to put in the work. So, and how it felt, actually, when Coach Tolbert named the team, it was unbelievable. It was very unbelievable. I remember exactly how he named it. He didn't say the names of the people that made the team. He just said the people that were not going to make the team.
Okay.
And
Wait. So okay, for us in media,
yeah,
we just had him named before.
yeah,
That was on the exact day
Yeah.
when they were unveiling. But I believe that they must have told you guys before.
no, we probably got that information like 20 minutes before.
20, oh god, I thought like a day before.
Yes,
because you guys had training.
No. Yeah, we had training that morning.
So you guys came.
We trained and we
you
didn't
still didn't know who was going to lead the
exactly
team.
because I mean you could come for training and then in training Shimwa gets injured.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, so it's tough.
So the coach just named.
We were 16 people in training.
16 for years.
And he named 4 people that were not going to make the team.
Yeah, I remember in that team that day it was.
I think it was Opileni Karim,
Osuna,
yes. And Tuke.
Osuna Tuke, yeah, okay, yeah. Also
So,
pretty much your age also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only Arnaitu had made the team before.
Yeah.
From those 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you could say you were the one who had the chance to.
Yeah,
to
I feel like it
stay
was a
around.
chance that he gave me.
Yeah.
He gave me a chance because what I've been telling most people is that there were so many good players in the setup.
Yeah.
Players like Karim who had made a debut.
Yeah,
Karim is a
he's played
debutant who has a try.
4. He has played a couple of circuits actually.
Yeah, he scored a try in the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's a remarkable player. So
Yeah.
I felt like it was a chance and I didn't want to let down my coach traveling to Zim. So when he named the team, he just named the 4 people that were not going to make the cut. And when he finished naming them, it's like I was waiting for him to say my name. I was just waiting for him to say Shimwa, but he didn't say Shimwa. And I was like, oh, this is it.
This is it.
This is actually the moment that you asked for.
And I remember
Yeah.
after I saw you post something on your status.
Yeah, I just
Do you
got
remember
the
it?
same tweet and retweeted and said God's timing.
Exactly,
Good timing.
yeah. So yeah, good timing guys.
Yeah, it's the biggest
just,
factor in this.
Yeah, just have to keep and wait for your opportunity. So now we're going to Zimbabwe. The team has been named. You had a couple of days, after the team was named to travel.
Yeah.
What was, how were your parents today? Your friends, your parents? How was it like? Your close relatives, your friends. What were they telling you in that? I think 2 days before the travel.
It was. They were all wishing me the best. My parents have always feared rugby because
Most
of
parents, yes.
the injuries and the community. But I convinced them that this is something. This is an achievement. This is something that so many people fight for.
Yeah.
And I've been named among the 12 people to go and represent the country.
Countries.
This is a big deal for me. It should be a big deal for you. They were convinced. They let me travel. Everyone else was wishing me the best of luck. And every time I got a message, oh, congrats on making the team, I just feel a brick of pressure on my back. It was so much, like, it felt like so many people were expecting so much from me. And like I said, when they were naming the team that was not traveling, I was waiting for my name. It's like I didn't believe in myself at the time.
In that moment, after all the work,
Exactly. After all, I mean, you can put in the work, but you put in the work, and when you reach the pitch to train,
yeah,
people are not sleeping. Everyone else is putting in the work.
I understand.
It looked very hard to
predict would go.
Exactly. So I was very pressured straight from the time they named the team into the last trainings at the airport. We reached Zimbabwe. We set into the hotel. I mean, I'm seeing big bouncers like players walking by, and I'm like, wow, I'm supposed to stop this.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I had so many butterflies, but I always talked to Isaac Pasanganzira.
Yeah. He was also actually back after
Yeah,
a
he
while.
was exactly after injury.
After an injury.
So Massa helped me. Massa, Philip, Aaron, those are 3 of the people that gave me a stepping stone to play what I can play. When we traveled for the camp in Turi, I didn't think I would interact with Philip that much. I mean, he's my teammate at the time, but he's a superstar. Philip plays in France.
You could say that he's a superstar indeed.
But he came down and told me, Shimwa, you have a platform to play. This is your chance to show coach that you're this and that. I mean, we're going to talk with you on the pitch. We're going to let you know what you need to know. But at the end of the day, your input must be seen.
Yeah.
So every time I would lag behind, Philip would call me, Shimmy, get here, Shimmy, get there. And that communication between the players, that chemistry that we built with each other, helped me at least get my mind off the pressure, to just concentrate on what I'm playing. So entering the first game against Algeria,
before we go into the first game against Algeria, okay, now you've told us that you were you had so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
I know there are some rituals you probably do, not like ceremonic rituals.
But
there are some rituals you normally do probably before games or before a circuit. What did you do? Did you do anything different from your usual? What in that night?
Me, Avitas,
what
I didn't do anything different because I tried everything and it all refused. It all refused. I prayed. I was about to fast, but I had games. But I had games.
Yeah.
So I talked to my players. It helped me, but it didn't take everything off.
Yeah.
The butterflies left me when I actually stepped on the pitch, when I made my first input in the game. As soon as I stepped on the pitch, the Algerians had a penalty and I made a turnover at the rack.
Yeah, I remember. I was watching the game.
So that moment, in that very moment when these guys are trying to lift me off the ground to clear me from the rack and I stood still, I realized that these are human beings that bleed like me.
Yeah. Watch away.
I was like, watch away. So I kept playing. Now I felt like I was playing on home turf. I was confident. I didn't have any butterflies when I played South Africa, when I played Zimbabwe, Zambia. There was no pressure anymore.
Yes. Now we're going to spin back a little bit in that very tournament. Before you played your first game against Algeria, you're just going to tell us, because many athletes don't really understand how much pressure is on a person. More so, you're being tasked to represent the country, and you're just 12 guys, and you're coming on as an impact substitution. They want you to do the work like the other guys have been doing.
Yeah.
In that moment, we had led that game. I remember we were leading that game when you came on in the second half.
Yeah.
How were you feeling when the coach said, "Shimwa, it's your time"? And after the game, what were you feeling like after now I've come in now, we've won our first game. These guys are human beings like us. What was the difference between those feelings? Can you just try to explain them to us briefly?
Before the game, like I've said, it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So Coach Tobert calls on me, asks me to get in for Ian. And because Ian had played such a perfect game, I had to make sure that I don't step down the ladder.
Yeah. So
when you see me playing on home turf, I'm a very fancy player.
True.
I do a lot of tricks because I'm trying to set up people on my team that can run, people that can hit. I don't always take part in the
hitting,
in the crazy physicality unless I'm called on to it. I mean, if they call me to the job, I'll knock you out. But it's not always my first go-to. So all the Fijian passes, the over the head hooks and all that, I had to let that go. Because now I was playing safe. I was playing to make sure that the team, first of all, does not concede when I'm on pitch. The team wins, and I have to impress my coach to let him know that he didn't make a wrong decision. Because like I said, I was given a chance. I was not a guaranteed player. I just got a chance, and I had to show my coach that the choice that he made was not a wrong one. So I entered the pitch with a lot of butterflies. I played. We did not concede like I wanted. We scored.
Yeah, we scored, I think, 2.
We scored like 2 when I was on the pitch. So when we got off, the first welcome that I received was from Massa, and he's like, "Rookie of the year." Rookie of he's the best rookie since 2018. That's what he said.
When Vimbos, I think, was
I think it was around Vimbos. So personally, I didn't feel like I did much on the pitch, but he told me there's no rookie that comes to a tournament as big as this, an Olympic qualifier, and plays with the composure that you played with. There's no rookie that comes and is able to convince the crowd that this is where he belongs. Because most rookies are given playing time to step into the fire, and some mess up, some need a second chance. But I played diligently. I did not let them down. I played as they expected, like I was back home. And that welcoming that I received after the game, it just warmed my heart. It just made me know that, you know what, get done with the jitters. just do your thing. Just do what brought you here. The reason you were chosen is because of the way you play. So just play the way you've been playing.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
the second game I remember we played against Burkina Faso. I
Yeah.
did not get to watch that one. The thing had an issue. Most Ghanaians were complaining that. But then the third game against Zimbabwe, Uganda was given a beating, 35-5, I remember.
Yeah.
What was it like, for a debutant like you? How was it like for you? And what was the team camp like that very night? Given that last year we had beaten Zimbabwe in the finals and we won. This time round we are losing in the.
It was frustrating while we were playing the game because we knew that Zimbabwe. I mean, we prepared to play against Zimbabwe. We reviewed how they play, and we knew we were entering the game knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And we did not lose that game because we didn't know what to do. I feel like we lost that game mostly because we were complacent.
Yeah.
Because we knew that we beat these people in the final. We know their strengths. There's no way they're going to take it out on us. So Zimbabwe scored first. Then we scored. And that was the end of our scoring.
But from there on, it was just.
It was just a mistake, a missed pass, a fancy pass that went the wrong way. And the Zim guy intercepts, goes, scores. A missed tackle. There were a lot of mistakes on the pitch that frustrated the players themselves, first of all, because they know they could do better.
Yeah.
And they frustrated our coach. So in the team talk after the game, I mean, it happened, we can't cry over spilled milk, but we have to know that, you know what, this is what let us down. And if all goes well, then we're going to find Zim again.
Yeah.
We're going to land on Zim again, and we have a point to prove. It's not revenge, it's redemption. So we talked it out with the players. We made certain changes to the way we were playing. Our coach also talked to us. There was a lot on the line. If Uganda didn't have a podium finish, we would not only fail to qualify for the repechage, but we're also not going to be able to qualify for the Challenger Series next year. So that would mean a whole year of no sevens rugby, no international sevens rugby, until the next Africa Cup, where you qualify to probably play in the Challenger Series the next year.
Because there will be no Olympics. You have to wait 3 more years or 4.
So our coach told us that. I think most people took it personally because the sevens setup is something that has built people. It has built families. It has built communities. It's a backbone for some families. Yeah. That simple money that people receive pays rent, pays bills, fees. And if you have no active rugby, your contract is a performance contract. If you're not playing, then you're not earning. So that would mean such a tough life for so many people, including myself, because I live off that money as well. Yeah. So there was a lot on the line. The program was on the line. The whole sevens program was on the line. That's why most people see us jubilating for receiving a bronze, but us, we had a target on day 1. Yeah. The target shifted on day 2, and we were able to hit that target. We settled for that. And now, before we actually go into that a little bit, I wanted to ask you that what do I want to ask? Just skip my mind. When you guys were, is there anything particular you remember the coach saying after that loss against us? Anything that maybe stood out with you that you took home? You're like, the coach said this, and I'll never forget this because that was a very big turning point for Uganda Sevens. The Coach Robert, he's the most calm coach I've ever dealt with. He's not the type to come after a game and say he lost because of this. Like, he came after the game and he was jolly. And he said, tough one, boys, bad day in the office. But we know what has let us down. And to be honest, everyone knew what let us down. So he said, let's go back on the drawing board. He went back on his drawing board. The next day we had a meeting before the games. And that's where he let us know. Because some of us personally, and I'm sure most other players on the team didn't know that this was also, it was a qualifier for Olympics and also qualifier for Challenger Series. So once that got known to us, I think that's what switched on the beasts in the Uganda Sevens. Now, we did an interview
Of course, we knew that after the loss to Zimbabwe, we knew we were going to play Zambia in the Zambia. I don't think there was a very hard fixture. Was it a very hard one for you guys?
Not really. Okay, you see, every fixture is hard to its own level. Zambia is a very physical team, but with the mindset that the Uganda team had, I'm sure they're not going to let they're not going to let Zambia trump over them.
Yes. And now, in the semi-final, we were playing the big one, the beast in the room, the one who had come to spoil our party, South Africa. But then to take you back a little bit, when I did an interview with you, if you remember, actually that video, that interview got about 200 something views. I was surprised, for you commenting. You told me that Uganda had beaten South Africa before, which they have. And now here was the opportunity for us to beat them again. We had the game in our hands, and in the second half, it slipped out of our hands. How was it like for you, with the mentality that you guys had in that moment, going into that game and after the game?
It was heartbreaking. But we didn't lose that game because we were not better. We didn't lose that game because we were not ready. Like you said, we had the game in our hands. I'm not the one to point fingers at officiating, but there was a clear issue with the official.
Don't talk about officials.
That one but there was a clear problem somewhere there that was not addressed. It led to 2 tries in their favor. We couldn't do much after that because there were about 2 minutes left to play. So it was heartbreaking when we went back into the camp, but we knew that we had another chance. That was to beat the loser of the second semi-final in the third place playoff.
And that was?
Fortunately, Zimbabwe played their semi-final before us. So we came out of our semi-final knowing who we were going to play. We knew that this was a do-or-die situation. This was a do-or-die. And they were playing at home. At home,
exactly.
So it was a lot of pressure, I won't lie. But still the boys delivered, because the biggest weapon you have as a man is your mindset.
But you see now, most people don't understand, who are watching this. You lost to a team in the yesterday, a pretty heavy defeat for Uganda. And now you lost in the semi-finals, where you knew that if you qualified for the finals, you would have a chance to qualify for the Olympics straight away, and you'll automatically be, in the series and etc. But now here you have an opportunity to play the hosts. But remember, they beat you yesterday, and now they have the home crowd on their side. Like, we also beat them here. How was it like, just in 1 minute, just try to describe the intensity there? And
it was very intense. Avitas, it was very intense. What I can say, the Zimbabwe guys, every time we're in the tunnel, they had a huge speaker, a huge JBL speaker that was playing one song. And I looked for the title of the song. It's an Amapiano song called Kavalungu. And if you play it right now in front of any of the players, of Ross, Philip, they know. They know I know this song. So it was intimidating, because they would sing their song in the tunnel, they're stomping their feet. The crowd is wild, but we were playing for ourselves, we were playing for the people back home. We were not going to let the crowd get to our heads. I mean, Zim scored first, but we didn't put our heads down. We came back, we overtook them. They scored another try, and then Philip delivered a dagger at the end of in the last minute. And the game ended I think 26-14 in our favor. 26-14, 26-12. It was actually 24-12.
24-12.
So we knew what we were playing for, and I feel like that mentality, we just locked out everything else that was happening, and we focused on our goal. We focused on the fact that we had to redeem ourselves from the game on the previous day and show them that we were the better side. I mean, it's sport, everyone wins and loses on some day, but that was our day to win or win. We didn't take it lightly. We went into the game knowing what we had to play. We executed. The game ended in our favor. And glory back to God.
Many. And okay, we see as we conclude this interview there, at the end there, Pius Ogina got an injury. You know, we saw you lift him there, and then also, you know, we were told that they are normally rituals, but then when speaking to Captain Ian Munyani, he told me that the last ritual which had been done was with Vimbos. Back then, when they cut his hair, was there any rituals they did to you? Did you do any rituals?
Trust me, the rituals is culture.
What did you do?
Every single year.
Can you reveal?
I'll keep that for for our personal discussion.
Yeah.
But obviously, see, as a rookie, for you to respect the elders, you must know where you lie. You must be initiated the same way everyone is initiated. Like in Ntare School.
Yeah.
Everyone in senior 2 will say, I want bully next year. But when you reach there, it just sort of happens.
Yeah.
So there's no way that the culture can die out. And if someone tries to disrespect the culture, then you're disrespecting the team. Because the team runs on culture and values and core values, and you must respect that. So, I was lifting Pius. Pius is one of the strongest players I've ever played against in my life. I mean, I've played... Now I've played South Africans, I've played Zimbabweans, I've played Burkina Faso boys,
Zambia.
And Pius is one of the strongest players, and on top of that, one of the most talented players, and he's so down to earth. I had a problem with my scrummaging, and Pius helped me out. And when he got injured, it broke my heart, it broke the heart of Ugandans, because he got injured in a very key game.
Exactly.
And you never know, maybe the result could have gone a different way had he been around, but we won our bronze medal. We don't blame it on Pius's injury. We don't blame it on the way whoever played. Maybe Shimwa missed a tackle. We don't blame it on that, because we play as a team. You win as a team and you lose as a team. So me lifting him at the end was us celebrating our victory as a team of our medal, because it took every single one of us to get to that medal. If Pius did not travel, the result would have been different. If Shimwa did not travel, the result would have been different. Same as all the other 10 players on the squad, including the management and the team doc. Everyone played a role, and everyone deserves to feel appreciated in a similar way.
Yes, now, as we leave this topic of Uganda team, we know that after that, your own team here, Makerere University, was playing in a different thing, but you were unable to partake.
Yeah. And
over the week, last weekend, they played in a crucial game, and I was told that you could not partake because, fatigue, the tiring and everything, all that habituation you've been in the sevens there. Did you miss your Makerere team?
Yeah, I did. That's the particular reason that I was on ground.
Yeah.
Because I felt like if I cannot give in as a player, let me give in as someone just giving some advice, like the way I did when I was on injury. So I was here early in the morning. I watched every single game of theirs. I told them where they would improve, what needs to be let go of. I was unable to play because of the fatigue. It's a very intense training program back in the national team setup. And then coming from the games, my body was worn out. My body is still worn out. I mean, I just resumed active rest today, and it's still tough, because I know that next week we're going to have certain...
we're going to go into first games also, which are going to be coming up, and you also need to go back into training.
Exactly.
And then the last edition, you had an intense training,
so it's a bit a lot, so I decided to forego these games to maybe put up a better performance at the first games, because you need rest. As an athlete, you need to rest, and if you don't rest, then your body will shut down. It won't perform as effectively as it has been performing, because it's not a machine. You get worn out, and you have to accept that you're worn out, take rest, eat, drink, and let your body recover. Yeah.
Now, the first games are going to be coming up, and we are preparing for them. They are also going to be here at Makerere. We now have another opportunity. You as a player, we know that during Uganda we have been in the sevens season, from the Naggalama Special Sevens, Central Sevens, and there have been so many sevens for about 4 months.
Yeah.
Do you think that the games you have been playing, the varsity sevens, the preparation has been enough for Ugandan teams and Makerere in particular to be able to put up a fight when we play in the first games which are coming up soon?
with issues to do with preparation, if you ask me, preparation is never enough.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can have time to train for a year, but the thing is, the game is always evolving and we are always learning. So even if you train for a year, we've seen professional players in the World Cup train for 1 year, 2 years, but they still go there and they make mistakes.
Yeah.
That means preparation could have not been enough. Couldn't have been sufficient, maybe. So if you ask me if this varsity, I mean, it's a new step because this is the first varsity cup that I've witnessed as a rugby player.
Yeah.
It's exposed the players, it's put them in shape, it's put them in the mindset, knowing that there's a bigger tournament coming ahead of them. So I feel like, yeah, it has improved on the preparation, but there's always something more that can be done. So yeah, it's been very important, it's been very helpful for the boys, but we'll still have some things to work on. If we didn't, we'll probably have won all the 4 circuits and taken the overall trophy, but we didn't win a single circuit. That says a lot. So we have to go back on our drawing board and know where our mistakes were and what we have to do.
Now, Shimwa, as we wrap up this one, first of all, I would like you to call upon the fans, look into the camera, call upon the fans, not just Makerere fans, but fans, rugby fans all over Uganda and all over Africa, because we shall be streaming these games live. I want you to call upon the fans to come and watch, or if they cannot come to the ground, I want you to tell them to follow wherever the updates shall be for these upcoming FASU games.
I would like to take this opportunity to call out every single rugby player, every rugby fan that's out there, even those that are not rugby fans. It's a very beautiful sport. You should learn how it's played, learn the simple basics that you need to follow an interesting sport like this. Next weekend, on the 7th of October.
Around there, it will be 3 days.
Yeah, 7th to 9th of October, we shall have the FASU All Africa Games, Kings of Africa, hosted at Makerere University at the rugby grounds, popularly known as Graveyard. We shall be taking on teams from Kenya, from Namibia, South Africa, and it would do us a great deal if you came down and supported your home team. Make the noise that you need to make, come and meet new people, come and interact. You never know who you're going to meet here. And at the top of it all, come and support rugby. Rugby is a very good sport, it's a growing sport, and it would be really great if probably offsprings took part in it because it has so many opportunities out there. And to the management, we'd like to thank you so much for making this possible, all the sponsors. And yeah, we pray that we put up a performance worthy of your appreciation. There'll be links for people to stream these games if you can't make it. Please tap the links. They'll be moving around, I'm sure, before the games. So follow the game, follow the sport. You won't regret it.
Yes, and Shimwa, any final remarks, people who want to know you, any business that you do, who want to engage with you? Yeah.
I'm still a student. If you want to know me, I think you can hit me up on my socials. I use Shimwa Z on every account of mine, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And yeah, we can get to know each other. Like I said, there's not much to my name yet. I hope that in the next time I'm on this podcast or on this show, then I'll have something to my name. But as of now, I'm just a down-to-earth kid, just doing what he loves.
Yeah, Shimwa, thank you very much for joining us. You have been a second person, and we talked about this. That if you made the team, you probably come to this thing. And I want to thank God that you made the team. You went and represented the nation, and it will be an honor for me to see you once again representing Makerere University. And thank you very much for sparing your time and joining us here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you.